I really love this team. I really, really love this football team. The biggest win of the season was last week at Seattle so far, based on the opponent, their record at home, and really how Dallas really dominated that ball game. But what I say after that ball game, I said, now the Cowboys have earned the respect from a lot of people. They've proven they can beat the top teams in the toughest venues in the NFL. Now what are you going to do when you come back home against a struggling Giants team? How are you going to respond? And doggone it, they responded pretty dang well today. They had their hiccups. The Giants stayed in the ballgame. Giants played better. You know, I'll give credit to Eli Manning quite a bit. You know, we make fun of Eli and whatnot. Eli played a good game. Eli kept the Giants in this ballgame. But this, to me, was the best team win that Dallas has had this season. Everywhere across the board, the Cowboys stepped up, made plays, and helped win this ballgame. DeMarco Murray, once again, getting 100 yards. And you got to congratulate him first. 7 games in a row with 100-plus yards. The first running back to ever do that to start a season. Really is a credit to his talent, his fight, and also, of course, to the front office of the Dallas Cowboys for putting this offensive line together. I mean, that group up front, they keep getting better and better. You know, Doug Free was down. We'll love to get him back in a couple of weeks. But Parnell stepped right up in there, and the offensive line didn't miss a beat. And in pass protection, no one's touching Romo. I say it every week, but it bears repeating because guys like myself who've always been guys who believe that Romo is the right quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, I've always said, give him some time. He needs some time to throw the ball. He's got it now, and you're seeing what's happening with the weapons we've got. You know, Escobar getting 2 touchdowns to start the game, Dez being a factor throughout the ball game. Terrence Williams only had 1 catch, but it was for a touchdown. Jason Witten getting across the board, keeping drives alive. But what really stood out to me were the stats in the second half. The fact that the Dallas Cowboys, and this shows the mentality and how it's changed with this Cowboys football team. Romo threw 10 passes in the second half and completed every single one of them. But he only threw 10 passes the entire third and fourth quarter. A lot of times that's a drive for the Cowboys, or 2 drives or something like that. DeMarco Murray and the commitment to the running game has been outstanding. And Tony is really showing off the kind of quarterback that we all know he can be. And we've seen this from him before, but now it's more consistent because he doesn't have to be Superman every single play. The third down conversions, that's what a good football team does. That when it comes to third down, you convert that and you get them off the field. This looked like, when it got hairy for a little bit, when the Giants went up 14-7, when they started to kind of come back there in the second half, we've seen Cowboys-Giants games before. We've seen this type of game where the Cowboys dominate the ball game, but the Giants find a way to get back it and usually win at some point. When they came back, and credit to the Giants for doing this, and Eli Manning, when they're down 28-14, they came right down the field and scored real quick. But the fact that once again we're able to rely on the offensive line and DeMarco Murray to kill the clock, just juice it for all it's worth, and then of course call in Dan the Man Bailey, who is just Mr. Automatic, to seal the deal 31-21. I really like this football team. This can be sustained. We talked about this going into Seattle, that a running game, the way this team is playing, can travel well and can go to Seattle and win that kind of game. And you can take this week to week to week. So now the Dallas Cowboys are 6-1. Philly was off this week. They're 5-1, so we're tied at the top. I mean, technically the Cowboys are ahead, but we all know it's a tie between Dallas and Philly at the top of the NFC East. That's going to be a showdown game on Thanksgiving. But the Cowboys have to keep it up, because next week is another game the Cowboys should win. Home against the Redskins, a team that won today but had to switch around quarterbacks. And of course, my boy Colt McCoy could be the starting quarterback for the Redskins. So I love seeing that he's back in the league and he's having success, but I don't want him in success next week because Dallas needs to keep this train rolling. So how about them Cowboys? 31-21 win over the hated New York. It's just good to beat the New York Giants as well. A division win in the NFC East is always great. It's good to beat the New York Giants and kind of set them aside for right now. Redskins up next. Dallas, just keep doing what you're doing. Defensively, we did better on the run game. Now, the passing game did hurt us. Like I said, Manning was having success through the air today, but the guys got turnovers when they needed to. And no team's perfect. There's problems or whatever, but overall, this is one of the best overall football teams in the league, all across the board. Really proud of this team. Really like this football team, and it's got really good potential down the road. But Redskins next. We'll see how they can take care of those guys. How about them Cowboys? We'll see you guys next time. Great win.